Hello everyone, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Tsukihime, a piece of blue glass moon. So last time we had more battles with Arcuate and CL. So let's just continue as the battles are pretty long.
この通り、武器はとっくに準備済みです。展開に3分もかかるのが欠点ですが、控えめに言って、あなたがバカで助かりました。
These are no stars glimmering in the firmament, but great mirrors wrought from magecraft, a fiery array of angelic wheels deployed in the stratosphere to capture the sun's light. A work of grand magecraft fashioned by the executor CL from the remains of the ancestor who taught her swordsmanship. Its name.
塵に帰って反省しなさい。イデアブラッド25番、ベゼ。財形を立て、カルバリア・ガルガリン。
A curtain of light falls from the heavens. Fast as light, the guillotine affords Arcuate no quarter. For a split second, she tenses to evade, but its arrival is instantaneous and all the city lies beneath its blade. No terrestrial being can escape its judgment. Not even the princess of the true ancestors. She's actually getting smacked there, look at that. A white hot wall smashes the pale vampire into the dirt. A blade of light 50 kilometers long and 10 kilometers broad. It slices through the town and deep into the ground beneath, crushing Arcuate beneath its uncompromising mass. But lo, tremble before the majesty of the planet. For in the face of grand magecraft, that pinnacle of human wisdom, the princess of the moon yet endures. Anticipating that CL might produce some weapon power enough to overwhelm her, she drew fresh power from the earth. Calvaria is indeed grand magecraft. However, not even this earth-shattering force is enough that Arcuate could be killed by a human power is an unthinkable prospect.
でも、お前に貴様。この程度で私が殺せるわけないでしょう。
Arcuate plants her hands on the ground. She rises like a mountain, pushing back against the wall of light.
ええ、人間では神のごときものは倒せない。ですから、とどめを刺すのはあなたの仕事です。
The ground begins to move. Cloven in by two walls of light, one half of the city ascends towards the heavens, while the other sinks into the earth. A fault line gapes between them like the jaws of some great beast.
まさか、シエル、あなた。言ったでしょ、あなたはあなた自身の重さで殺すと。好きに暴れたかったのでしょうが、この町を自分と同じものに変えた時は笑ってしまいました。バカすぎて。この質量ならもう逃げようがない。あなたをまんべんなくその器ごと破壊してあげましょう。再生に何年かかるか、それともこれで消滅するのか。 これま
The planet's maw opens wide, its maxilla rising, and that will be enough to break her. When it snaps shut, it will annihilate all that she is. There may be nothing left to regenerate or resurrect from. Before her looms a true unknown. For better or worse, she has tasted death before. An astronomically improbable encounter with a passing murderer taught her its sting. But she knows nothing of this coming oblivion, and in the unknown she finds fear. No, perhaps her terror stems not from ignorance but from knowledge.
それ怖い。きっと痛くて怖いからお願いやめてシェ。
Arcuade fights to lift the curtain from her throat. But her fate is sealed. The crust of her own primal earth climbs inexorably skywards. Its incalculable mass beyond even her power to oppose.
見苦しい。虫のように潰れなさい。
And at CL's command comes crushing down. CL almost topples over, but catches herself, chest heaving. This time, she is truly spent. If she falls now, she won't get back up. In one battle, she not only exhausted herself physically, mentally, and magically, but used up Vlov's idea blood and the 3 years worth of blood reserves she saved for Calvaria's guillotine. I mean, like, what choice did she have, right? Like, this is the hardest battle she's gonna be doing. She is on the verge of collapse. Ordinarily, she would welcome passing out, but circumstances oblige her to hold on a little longer, in case Arcuade is still alive.
学校に急がないと。
She can't afford to rest. Even so, she realizes that unless she takes a minute to recover, she won't be going anywhere. Her heart cries for reprieve, but the swelling of her lungs flood her body with relief. Her muscle fibers knit back together millimeter by millimeter. Her blood drinks in oxygen. As she stands there panting, the realization that she's still alive washes over her.
やってやりました。完畜者。
In the middle of the street, whole again, as if nothing had transpired, she bursts into laughter at her own recklessness, now that her guillotine has fallen. Against all odds, her plan came to fruition. She killed true ancestor royalty, an unprecedented feat. Did she though? A profound satisfaction fills her battered chest. Even she, a comparative pacifist, recognizes that this is an accomplishment for the ages. If Shiki were here, she would throw her arms around him in celebration.
あとは町が元通りになれば。
She successfully foiled Arcuade's attempt to turn the world inside out. With a source of the phenomenon containment gone, normality will soon reassert itself. But in her giddiness, she overlooks a crucial detail. As the alabaster castle disintegrates, its constituent particles flow back to Earth, returning to their master. The earth seems to groan, a harsh grating sound like a forbidden seal cracking. The ground trembles, the air trums. Magical energy gathers on an exorbitant scale. The thermal energy of the phenomena once contained now concentrates to the extreme. This could only be called the seed of a principle. An entire city's worth of data compressed to blank length. A celestial egg, harmless so long as it remains within the conceptual realm of the inner sea, but whose immense energy, concentrated in a critical point, destabilizes and rapidly expands when manifested in the physical world. The result is known to astronomers as cosmic inflation. It is the birthing cry of a universe. This land will bear witness to a phenomenon beyond microscopic in comparison, but identical in nature. Look at that. It is as if the sun itself has fallen to earth. Down comes a corpus of light, soft yet hard, cold yet warm. It is a myth made manifest in matter. Sanity broken, insanity shattered, she regresses to her primordial form, an ultimate one. Ether expands and condenses. Her advent concludes. Under the command of an all-powerful vision, vectorless energy assembles into a form even a human could comprehend.
信じられない。さっきまでのはまだ正常だった。なんて。
CL would rather have fought the literal sun than this. The loftiest existence mankind can comprehend, if such a thing has a name, its name is God. She is living, or she's a living being no longer, but something mightier and more primal.
あれだけ見境をなくしていて、まだ暴走していなかったんですか、あなたは。
All CL can do is stand helplessly before her eminence. Her will to fight has deserted her. Her strength is spent, her tricks exhausted, and now even her courage has shorn away. Cursed with knowledge, she understands exactly what she faces, and her knees buckle at the thought of it. She senses danger, but her body refuses to respond. Instinctively, she knows that this is the power of the entity's mystic eyes, the power to overawe any intelligent life form its gaze falls upon. The church, and indeed all religion, are merely an extension of the human impulse to serve beings such as this. Those who draw their strength from such teachings like CL cannot stand against their masters. CL grits her teeth and clings to her human cognition, fighting the urge to stop thinking. But her resistance comes too late. The touch of its gaze would transfix any living creature's mind. shackle their flesh and hold their vital rhythms hostage to its will. Besides its titanic entity, already holds her tiny life in the palm of its hand. Seized by searing heat, CL gasps in pain. And after the heat comes, the pressure. 5 pillars of corporeal light imprison her, squeeze her, crush her in their grasp.
捕まえた。触ってみると柔らかいのね、人間って。あれ、
CL struggles with all her strength, yet fails to push back her restraint a single millimeter. Her cage of light begins to ascend. Above the street lights, it lifts above the rooftops and then finally halts in midair. Though trapped in this windowless cell, CL is fully aware of what is happening outside. The ground has been taken prisoner, the sky obscured by a crimson canopy. A titan of pure light unbends itself from Earth. Shed of its true ancestor's skin, it is an incarnation of raw power gone berserk.
ほら、だから言ったでしょ、シエル。やめないと怖いことになっちゃうって。
A voice fills the heavens that once lay beyond its reach. CL's body seizes its struggle, frozen in terror and despair. A human cannot overpower God. CL said it herself. Only now does she comprehend the truth of her own words. Never in my life could I have imagined such a sight. Would this be called a cave-in? I watched as the whole damn city rose high into the air, bedrock and all. Now it's on the verge of plummeting back down. At the lip of the floating section stands CL. And 100 meters below her feet, lying to the ground, is Arcwade.
落ちる。終わったのか。
Silence shrouds once more. The flashes of light, the blast of gunfire, the rumble of a collapsing building, all of it is gone.
間違いない。シエル先輩の勝ちだ。
I know I shouldn't treat this like some football game, cheering when my team wins and booing when they lose. Even so, I can't help but be glad that CL is alright. I'm proud of her for managing to pull through. But my happiness doesn't last long. My legs turn to jelly, almost dragging me to the ground. It feels like a stake has been rammed through my chest. I clutch wildly at my fluttering heart. This must be Roa. Before, his thoughts came through with clarity, but all I'm getting now is an overwhelming urge to vomit. His revulsion is so intense, so murderous that it's making him sick. My headache returns with a vengeance. Roa is furious. He rebukes Ciel for her folly, curses Arcuade for her inelegance.
なんだお前何かそんなに
I almost black out. Roa and I, vampire and human, shudder as one. The world shakes. Roa's lamentations grow louder. I'm going to keel over at this rate. Beset by confusion, inside and out, I hold onto the rooftop railing for dear life. Before me unfolds the stuff of myths, even further divorced from reality than the cataclysm of moments ago.
アルクイド
Despite myself, I understand. My eyes tell me I'm looking at pure light. No living creature but a natural phenomenon. Yet my brain knows better. It tells me that somehow that light is Arcuade. Though I can't begin to wrap my mind around it, I know without a doubt that it's her. Why? What could have happened to turn her into that?
インフレーション。理論的にはそうなると予見はしていた。我々にとって利するものは何もない。醜悪極まる結末だがね。デーモンコアの実験は知っているか？ああ、知らないのなら結構期待してもいなかったよ。
An infuriatingly calm voice whispers in my ear. It comes from inside my head, yet isn't my own.
お前
Roa's voice echoes inside my skull. I don't know what's gotten the bastard in such a talkative mood, but he won't shut up.
そう高ぶるな。私も上書きする前に目覚めたことに辟易している。力の供給源である姫君からの過剰投与。死人ですら飛び起きると思う。お前を動かしている動力の横領もしていない。不快感は少ないはずだ。
I do still feel a tingle in my brain whenever he speaks, but it's a far cry from the splitting headaches of before. Hearing another person's voice in my head is not unpleasant. Actually, I feel strangely at ease, like I'm with someone I trust. I mean, it's like hearing someone in, let's say, a headset or whatever, right? But the problem is, right now, he's kinda cool with it. Roa, I mean. But if it's different, then it sucks. I really must be losing it if I'm starting to think this comeback is my friend.
正常な反応だ。今の私はこの器を継承する準備ができておらず、また党の指揮と融合する選択肢を除外した。
Yeah, like, would he even want to do it right now? Like, look at what is happening, man. I'd rather wait it out and see if Shiki survives.
私はお前の選択に対して別視点から意見、忠告、解説、批評をもたらす補助人格。そうだね。カーナビゲーションのようなものだ。お前の根底にある合理性は有益な機能を嫌悪することはない。
I force myself not to dismiss him out of hand. Arcuade has somehow turned it into a globe of light. Roa is insisting he can be useful to me. And CL is gone, trapped somewhere in that glow. If this isn't a desperate enough time to call for desperate measures, I don't know what is.
わかるのか、お前。あれが何なのか。
あれは抗体だよ。
抗体？
神祖の王族のみが持つ霊気状態。神祖が何らかの手段で肉体を完全に破壊されてしまった時、その反作用として起きるものだ。エレイシアが講釈していただろう。アルクイド・ブリュンスタットは小さく重いものだ。あれは活動する際、その出力を常に相手より一段階上のものに制限する。それは万能の表れではない。ただの枷だ。彼女から肉体という制限がなくなり、かつその精神活動が衰えていない場合、力の制御はされなくなる。肉体に秘められていた魔力は拡散し、地表から引き出すエネルギーに制限はかけられなくなる。それがインフレーション、理覚抗体現象。本来は星の内部にとどまっている長く天体を運営するための魂を地表に漏らすあってはならないシステム障害。そうだ、わかりやすく言えば自然による消費文明への自浄作用。いや、報復機構と思えば。
つまりその
謝罪する。お前の知性レベルを考慮していなかった。要は暴走して魔力を垂れ流している手のつけられないクソったれな状態ということだ。
そうかよ、悪かったな。そんなの見ればわかるけどな。
Arcuade isn't even all I'm worried about. CL is in there somewhere too. What's happening to her?
まっとうな生き物であれば生きてはいない。だがあの女は私がいる限り不滅だ。今も死にながら生きている状況だと考察できる。
My legs take off before I even process what he said. I sprint across the roof like a man possessed. Explanations can wait. Sure, I might not understand what I'm facing, and the very sight of it might make me tremble. But this is no time to stand around dumbstruck.
あの状態の姫君に近づく。では同じ思考回路を使う者として忠告はしておこう。もしやと思ってはいた。お前、自殺が趣味だったのか。
余計なお世話だ。16回も死んでるやつは黙ってろ。
I snap back at the empty air as I leap from the roof. The 3-floor drop doesn't so much as twist my ankle. It's revolting to see how unnatural I've become. It makes me sick to my core. But tonight, I'll gladly swallow that disgust. This body mutating around me. This stranger whispering in my ear. These eyes that can see death. I'll need all three if I'm going to rescue CL from that thing. I exit the school grounds to find a world transformed beyond all recognition. A gale wails in the sky above. The air pressure fluctuates wildly, warning of a storm. A tropical humidity sticks to my skin. I don't stop to think about what any of it could mean, I just run towards the light. Fear is a product of the unknown. As much as I'd like to come up with something to dull that fear, the prickling heat on my skin tells me that I can't spare the time.
このまま無策で突撃する気とすごいな。
無策で悪いか。何をするにしろまずは近寄らないと話にならないだろう。
最短距離で直進するのなら交代まで目測で800メートル。今のお前なら1分とかからない距離だ。すでに1分は走っていることについて何か質問は？
I quickly do the math in my head. You're kidding me. Are the town's dimensions changing?
交代化の影響だ。自称収納によってこの街は不確定の世界になりつつある。世界の中心にして採用である彼女に近寄ることは困難。世界そのものが彼女を尊重し彼方に遠ざけようとしているのだろう。
ああ、もう言い方。
ベルトコンベア。
Damn it, that actually helps. Basically, Arcuate and CL are getting further away by the second. While the visible size and shape of the town aren't changing, its distance is stretching somehow. I don't get the specifics, but Roa's analogy seems apt. So if I ever want to reach that light on the horizon, I'll have to travel toward it faster. Then the town is pushing me. But yeah, we did not expect to have an ally like this.
なんだ今の。あいつの爪か。狙われた。
いや、ここはまだ交代の視界の外だ。表層意識ですらない。我々は彼女に意識されてもいない。
意識されていない。
Arcuade doesn't know we're here, so basically I guess she's moving on instinct right now. That's a relief in one sense, but terrifying in another. It means that razor winds that could ordinarily slice me in two are just a natural feature of this world.
明確な攻撃の意図がなくても。
Simply existing in this space is dangerous. I'm like a wooden doll caught in a storm surge, perpetually inches away from being smashed to pieces.
嵐に近づくとはそういうことだ。お前の目に交代は脅威として映っているのだろう。それは正しい。交代に近寄れば近寄るほど危険は増している。波の使徒であればここが限界だと忠告しておく。ここはまだ彼女の意識の外、いわば圏外だ。領域侵犯には至っていない。だがこれ以上接近するということ。
Then she'll start to actively impede us. Got it. Can I do this or should I turn back? Roa is warning me that this is my last chance. I tell him, no, we gotta save, I guess, here. Let me choose, I guess this one first. Let's just see what happens.
邪魔すんな。黙ってろ。
This is going to be hell, but CL bought me every step of it with her own blood. I owe it to her to keep going.
そうか。では、次期彼女の圏内に入る。意識を強く保つこと。あれがなぜ我々には光にしか見えないのか。その理由があと100メートルほどで明らかになる。
I commit the warning to memory. Relying on Roa feels vile, but he's been useful so far. The air hangs so thick I could choke. Claws made of wind prowled the expanding city in search of uninvited guests. This scene is beyond human understanding. If I were alone, I'd have given in to hysteria by now. I up my speed as I run down what was once a highway. My headlong sprint pushes 50 kilometers per hour, and then crashing through the wall of air. I enter her domain. I'm stricken speechless. Lethargy grips my limbs as though actively fighting my attempts to move forward. A part of me can't blame them. Crimson stretches across the sky. Blank buildings stand silent as gravestones. A titanic figure reigns above, defying all reason. What is that? My intellect resists understanding. What is that? My terror resists comprehension. What is that? My memories resist recognition. What place does this entity have in a human city?
宗教的な認識操作だ。
Okay, what actually is that though?
遠くから拝礼する者には恐ろしい理解できないという印象を与え、近くまで拝礼する者には美しい理解できるものという印象を与え、神は足元にひざまずく者にのみ真実の一端を見せるもの。
Roa's words brush against the surface of my mind. Is he saying that's Arcuade? Transformed would be too gentle a word. I mean, the silhouette is kinda Arcuade though. The rounded mass I assume is her head hovers above the Hyatt Tower, the tallest building in Soya. But the Hyatt Tower is supposed to be 100 meters high. Does that mean that she's grown over 100 meters tall?
そう。あの光の中心に彼女の意識はあるのだ。肉体という壁がないため、その有り余る魔力量のまま、彼女が思い描く自身のイメージが投影、拡散されている。あれはすでにお前の知るアルクエイド・ブリュンスタットとは別のものだ。
It's like a nightmare become real. We are the only sparks of life in this hallowed city. The streets winding around us are bereft of humanity. In this necropolis, emptiness alone holds sway. Even the vines covering the buildings are devoid of color. The world itself paints a picture to describe Arcuade's wrongness. My legs buckle under the pressure. An almighty heartbeat pulses over the city, expelling all other living beings from its presence. It feels like I'm inside the body of some primal beast, where every atom of every molecule bends to the vampire's will. No, even that doesn't cover it. This is a giant's garden. I recall a fairy tale I read when I was young. In the giant's garden, trespassers are helpless as mice. If the giant sees them, he'll squish them just the same.
いや
I steel my senses against the pull of despair. Pushed to their limit, my eyes and brain see through the world's true nature. I should have known, even in this realm of the supernatural, there's no getting rid of the lines. The towering figure herself is devoid of them, but the potential for death is written plain as day across the rest of the city. How ironic that I now find comfort in this sight. And looking harder still, I see the reason I have to defeat this giant. My number one objective, obscured until I pass into her conscious mind. Ciel is trapped, caught between the giant's fingers. Pinned in their crushing grip, she dies over and over again. Something snaps inside my head. It must be the safety in my head flicking off. I force blood into my protesting limbs. I compel my trembling heart to keep pumping.
左右から来るぞ。
Roa's voice cuts through my rage. Not a moment later, a burst of wind surges down the street like a shotgun blast.
この
With my vampire speed and reflexes, I escape its razor touch by a fraction of an inch. Okay, my head's still on. I'm in one piece. Roa's warning came just in time.
5秒に1度の割合だな。考えなしに地面を走るな。岩の陰に身を隠せ。
I'd love to, but I'll never reach Ciel like that. To the naked eye, the giant is 300 meters away. The actual distance I have to cover is 10 times that. How am I supposed to run 3 kilometers when the air itself is trying to cut me to ribbons with every step?
なるほど。不可能だと自覚はしているかね。
The cold observation chips away at my will. However, what I see far above makes me forget my fear. I can't stop, not for a single second. I take a deep breath. Even now, Arcuade is squeezing the life out of Ciel. I merely might die. She is dying over and over. There is no question that I need to act. No one lays their hands on the girl I love, not even a titan tall enough to pierce the heavens.
徹底抗戦。理解に苦しむ。せめて建物の上を使え。地上ルートは死に筋だ。
ビルの上を飛んでいけっていうのか。それこそあいつの目に留まれ。
無論正面は避け迂回するべきだ。移動距離は増すがそれが唯一可能性のあるルートだ。
I scowl. He's actually got a point. Although I still don't get what's so dangerous about staying on ground level. I'd have to be crazy to fight that giant head on.
けどビルの屋上までどうやって？ビルに見えるだけで入り口もなければ階段もないんだぞ。
まだ人間の常識が抜けていない。両足に血を回せ。先人の谷を飛ぶ程度のイメージができなければ包帯には近づけない。
自力で飛べってのか。
お前では高低差20メートルの跳躍が限度だ。こ 小型のビルから大型のビルに乗り継げ。
いちいち的確だな、おい。
He's right though, my new body probably can't handle that. As intimidating as it is to imagine flinging myself through empty space, falling to my death is the least of my concerns right now. I pick out a building to aim for. Now, how did our Kuwait do this again?
攻勢を期して進言しておく。
なんだよ、出花をくじくの好きだな、お前。
吸血種として活動するほどに党の士気の肉体は変化していく。仮に私の魂を殺せたとしても、変化しきった体は人間には戻れない。
For the slightest of moments, I pause.
だから
愚問だったようだ。では急ぐがいい。姫君はまだこちらに気づいていない。奇襲はお前の得意とするところだろう、殺人鬼。
Like I need him to tell me that. I take off my glasses, grip my knife tight, and launch myself up the craggy exterior of what was once a building. From the shorter buildings, I make my way up to the taller ones. At a breakneck pace, I throw myself across the 30-meter gaps from one rooftop to the next. The wind is as strong up here as it was on the ground, and the elevation only exacerbates the turbulence. A gust could pluck me off my feet at any moment. One wrong step and I will find myself hurled into the sky. The higher I climb, the harder it becomes to see what's happening below. Around the feet of this luminous giant, the lumina, a white mist, shrouds the ground. Is that the danger Roa warned me about? Although the mist is too thick to see what lurks within, it exudes an undeniable threat. If that's the alternative, flying through the air like a trapeze artist might really be the best option. Then Lumina still appears to be 300 meters away. Despite traversing almost 500 meters worth of rooftops, my view of her remains unchanged. Even so, I can tell I am getting closer. The wind intensifies with every rooftop I lift to. At this rate, I'll reach that oversized lava lamp inside of 2 minutes. Shiki can joke still.
正面から向かうなと進言した。交代の魔眼は使徒のものとは次元が違う。視線を合わさずとも姫君に見られただけで全身が硬直し囚われてしまうだろう。この体はお前だけの体ではない。落下死は避けてほしいものだ。
そうかよ、俺からも一ついいか。このまま回り込んで近づいたとしても、もしあいつが動いたらどうするんだ。
愚かだがもっともな質問だ。安心しろ、交代は動かない。あれはシステムのようなものだと言っただ。生命として成立はしているが、動体であってはならない。多少の微調整、変貌はするだろうが、あの位置から移動することはない。
Well, that helps. I am half killing myself trying to close the distance between us. While she's standing still, I don't think I could take it if she just up and walked away. Her stride would be orders of magnitude longer than mine, If I had to chase her down, it'd be straight out of the option.
ランドマークとして考えていいんだな。なら目標は決まった。
Directly behind the Lumina, the husk of a building rises 60 meters into the air. It's perfect for getting the jump on her. My next step is to make my way there. I slash through yet another claw formed from thin air. Roa's claims they're an automatic defense system, protecting Arcuade's surface consciousness. All I know is they're too sluggish to hit me. I give Arcuade's towering figure a wide berth. She's 150 meters away now. No major obstacles so far, I can make it. Arcuade's assault pales in ferocity compared to what I saw her use on CL. It's almost enough to make me think this might just work.
ああ、良好だ。よほどエレイシアが憎いと見える。姫君が指先の獲物に夢中で、我々に気がついていない。
Roa says that like it's nothing, but I instantly freeze. I don't even need my vampire's eyes to see it. As I make to leap past Arcuade, I see the tragedy unfolding on full display, a performance for my eyes alone.
どうしたのよシエル。そろそろ反撃したら。ずっと手も足も出ないなんてあなたらしくない。
She speaks with nothing a human might call a voice. Her tongue is alien, her words no simple transmission of sound. Gleefully she toys with... She holds a captive in one gargantuan hand. Her overwhelming power renders CL's resistance futile. Indeed, she seems to enjoy the sport, smiling cruelly to see life pushed to its most desperate extremes. She takes an arm and licks it as spasms. She opens a ribcage and painting her talons red. She crushes a head and watches it regrow. Honestly, if I was CL, I would lose my mind, man. Like, it's insane the amount of time she's died already, but yeah. She rips out entrails and plucks them like strings. She's dining. For millennia, human beings have killed, dressed, and consumed animals for pleasure. This is her own recreation of that pastime. I mean, yeah, CL, she dies, then she comes back. She regenerates, she heals, but she actually still feels it. That's the big problem there. Except her nutrition comes from a different source. Meat, proteins have nothing to offer her. She feeds solely on the pleasure derived from others' pain.
もういろいろびしょびしょね。悲鳴もおえつも面白みがなくなってきた。
With each regeneration, CL's fingers reach out into empty space begging for help. And with each resolute act of hollow defiance,
安心して。私は見苦しいなんて言わないから。
her spirit is crushed anew.
さっきのお返し。虫みたいに潰してあげる。
No, it has long been decimated.
やめろー!
She keeps going there. My voice explodes from my lungs in uncontrollable rage. I can't keep quiet after seeing that Roa's plan can get stopped. I'm going to cut the giant's arm right off her body. Yet no matter how loud I shout or how hard I push, I can't get any closer. She is perpetually too far, perpetually out of my reach. Getting CL back is still on the wrong side of impossible. Her voice, born on the very air, rattles the world. I grit my teeth in frustration, in shame. I'm leaping about in plain sight, shouting for all to hear, and I still can't get her attention.
Nine.
Roa's voice saves me from stewing in my own thoughts. The wall of wind rolling before me is a league above the automatic defenses I've encountered so far. If it decides to come for me, there'll be no escaping it. It stretches from the feet of Arcowade's Lumina up into the sky, surrounding her like a raging tornado. I have to retreat. Approaching her gigantic form from the side would be bad. She hasn't seen me yet, but if she's so much as glances this way, it's all over. My body and mind would seize up as though dropped in cement, and she would greet me with a merciless whirlwind of razors. The only way is a circle around behind her as per our original plan. But then what? I can't see her death. Okay, fine. That's always been the case, no surprise at this point. This transformation though, that's another story. Arcowade was already overpowered, but now she's doubled down. Even CL is helpless against her. How can I rescue CL from a monster like that?
逆だ。あれは一段階弱くなった。小さく重いものが大きく重いものになっている。自己の感情に溺れ、生命の質量定義を一段階下げたのだ。千年の恋も冷めかねない。
弱くなっている。あれで
出力が上がろうと欠点が多くなればそれは弱体化だよ。エレイシアには失望した。大魔術だけで十分だったものを必要以上に壊すと、あれほどの術式を展開しておいて下手くそにも程がある。私ならもっとうまく使ったもの。
アルクエイドばかりか先輩にまでダメ出しか。とにかく勝ち目はあるんだな、あれ。
Silence in Roa's answer. That must not be his goal. Well, let him sulk. All I need to do right now is run. I can't save CL from her torment, but I can make sure it isn't for nothing. While Arcowade is fixated on torturing her, I'll find a way to make her pay for every drop of blood she spills.
ねえ、まだ希望があると思っているの？まさかあいつが助けに来るとか期待してる？
I hear the rumble of the giant's voice as she recedes from sight. She croons to her captive as though to boss him a friend. More talons of air rake at me, stray her currents buffet and batter my body. She may not be conscious of me, but the world is trying to expel me from her presence nonetheless.
わかんないな。あんなやつのどこがいいの？
The pair fade farther into the distance. I force myself to ignore them and keep running.
乱暴で口が悪くて病弱で約束を守れもしないくせに善人のふりをして
I'm right next to her. After all, if out of view, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that the air is getting rougher, but
あいつに比べたらトカゲの方がまだ誠実だわ。あの声も嫌い、仕草も嫌い、顔も嫌い、全部嫌い。
You know, something tells me.
言っておくけど、あんな奴には何もできないから。できても遠くから悪口を言うだけよ。 それともそんな勇気もないかしら。そうよね、いつも言い訳ばっかりだったもの。僕は甘い仕草で初対面の女を解体することしかできない。最低最悪のずるくて童顔な殺人鬼だって。
Oh, she is totally ignoring me on purpose.
着いた。
10 meters away, I land on a rooftop on all fours and steady myself. Extreme updrafts shoot from the luminous feet, threatening to launch me skyward if I don't stay low.
本当に同情するわシエル。運が悪いにも程がある。あんな奴を助けたりしなければ、あなたはもっと楽に死ねたのに。ね。
I've had enough of this in more ways than one. Who cares how much of a monster I'm up against? Who gives a damn about the plan? I'm not going to give her another second to spare. Besides, watching the girl they love get crushed to death before their eyes would make anyone's blood boil.
陽角22度、目測距離7メートル、歪曲距離40メートル。ここであれば接触まで 0.8 秒。
I lift my hands off the ground and stand upright. I direct my blood flow into my legs. A single breath floods my body with fresh oxygen.
理想的なアプローチだ。
いい加減に。
I have only one goal.
落とせ。
Let's see how you look with just one arm. My angle of attack was perfect. With a starting height of 60 meters, my legs managed to propel me almost 30. I land on the giant's pale arm, wide as a highway, lodge my knife in her skin, and let my momentum carry it down from elbow to wrist. When I look up, however, I see that I've achieved nothing. Not only did I fall or fail to sever her arm, I didn't even scratch her. I felt my knife bite into her hull, yet no cut remains to mark its passage. Without the lines to guide me, I never expected this to be easy as that time. But I still got a vampire strength. I hoped that if I hit her with everything I had, the pain would shock her into releasing CL. My thoughts slow to crawl. Time seems to freeze. In a fraction of a second, I cycled through my options. Or rather, I assessed my situation. I screwed up. I got arrogant. I underestimated my enemy. My thought process was fundamentally flawed. To me, this was a battle, but to Arcuade, it was nothing of the sort. I was an ant who thought it could defy an elephant. I only got this far because she considered me harmless. Well, and now I've shown I'm anything but. She won't suffer me to skitter about anymore. Okay, so I guess we'll take a break here for now. The battle is ramping up, and it was actually unexpected that Shiki, I mean we can say team up, but he, of course for Roa, he is helping Shiki because yeah, he has it's gonna benefit him. I mean, if Shiki survives, then he can take over the body, right? So that was pretty interesting to see, not gonna lie there. But anyways, we're gonna continue this and do more of Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon in the next one. So I'll just see you then. Bye bye.